2, 3, 4.
Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Lift off and the clock is started.
Hey everybody, this is Brian Gobbins, and this is my brother Jack. Say hi, Jack.
Hi, Jack.
Oh, man. Not allowed to do that. That joke is so bad. It's so bad. So
Just trying
bad.
it out. Just trying it out.
I don't know if you listened to us last week. This is a mini-sode. Basically, last week we found out that we inherited our dad's bunker, and that's where we're currently at right now. Our dad passed away. He's dead. We're here in Norton, Ohio, trying to clean out this bunker. It's full of crap, all this, I don't know, Doomsday Prepper crap. And, I guess that's why what we're here doing today. Jack, you're not an expert on Doomsday Prepper shit, right?
No. I never claimed to be.
No. And it's sort of like a part of our lives that our dad sort of
Forced onto us.
Yeah, exactly. We didn't have a huge choice in the matter, and it was always really annoying, and so I didn't retain a ton of it, but I thought, he's dead now, and it's sort of depressing to be in here surrounded by all this stuff that reminds us of him. So we thought, maybe we'll follow his wishes, we'll try to bond a little bit. So what we did was, you saw on Netflix that they had the second season of Doomsday Preppers, the show. It was an actual TV reality show a couple years back, and so we watched it, and so we're going to discuss our findings, I guess. What did you think, Jack, just sort of generally about this show? Had you seen this show before?
No. I mean, I've heard of the show, but I mean, when you live, when it's your life, it's not as fun.
Do you think the people on this show are having fun? Because it painted a very grim picture to me, not of the future of the apocalypse, but of present day, of what these people are like. And
yeah, I mean, if anything, it just reaffirmed how insane our father was, which isn't necessarily.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to, piss on a dead body.
That's not a saying.
That's not an expression? Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Well, but I don't want to either way, literally or figuratively.
No one does.
Don't care for it. Dead body typically smell bad. Pee-pee doesn't smell too good. Put them both together, and what do you got? You got a Cleveland Sunday, as we call it here in Norton. Anyway, that's a Sunday with a D-A-E, as in the one you would eat in this case. All right. Well, okay, so let's just go through it. This show, without getting sidetracked too much, basically, it's the premise of the show is that they interview families. And I didn't realize this. They give families scores based on their doomsday preparedness. That was news to me when we got to that point in the show.
That was fun.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
So it's they start the show off. I thought this is the first thing I saw. They're like, ordinary Americans. And then the first ordinary American they show is a dude in a gas mask on a dirt bike, and his whole family is behind him in SARS masks, or I'm sorry, modern day coronavirus masks, if you will.
Yeah, get with the times.
It felt like, I don't know. I felt like it was kind of funny. I'm like, oh my god. This is what they think normal Americans are like. But then also with the coronavirus and the threat, I'm like, I'm glad we have the bunker because I'm kind of creeped out. Does that creep you out at all?
It is nice. I guess I do feel a little bit of comfort that I didn't think I was going to feel. And I don't know if it's just weird timing.
Yeah, we're opening and closing the door all day long of the bunker here. I mean, is that really gonna, when do you want to start sealing us in here? I don't know how. I don't feel much safer.
I guess you open the close. Do you wash your hands every time you open and close?
I don't even know where the sink is in here. I've been using wet naps that Dad stored.
Those are not going to kill any germs.
Those are not going to wash a whole human body either, I'll tell you that much. And they don't get, you put one of those in your taint and your wrist smells like your taint. It's like a truck stop restroom where you've got those little motion sensor things, and they don't quite get everywhere. It's hell in here. That's what I'm saying. I've been spending a lot of time in here over the past week.
It seems like you've been spending a lot of time in here.
Yeah, well, I mean, Phil, our lawyer, he's a fish killer. He motorboats things. Like he's got a wife that we should talk about later.
Okay.
Because
that picture looks like it's a little rumpled up.
What do you mean by that? I didn't do anything with the picture.
Well, I'm just saying the picture looked very pristine, and at this point, it's all very crumpled.
Those aren't my thumbprints.
As if somebody has been looking at it all week instead of cleaning the bunker like they said they were going to.
All right, I'm not going to listen to these bizarre accusations. Let's just get back on task. All right, so Doomsday Preppers.
First episode.
If you haven't seen the show, maybe watch a little of it. I don't know if in the beginning I'm like, oh, this is going to be really funny. This is going to be real fun.
It's not.
And it got real depressing really fast. It got really sad. And so, like, the show starts off with an opening or a monologue that's like talking about like these people perceive the world to be full of threats, and it's said in such a way that like even the show isn't 100% on their side, but then the show is also judging them.
Yeah, it's very, and then they don't ever show the experts. The experts just a voice.
Who are the experts?
It's and they give them these. It's a voice.
The scores are rated out of 100, and they give everybody like a 60. So they all fail based on the academic, whatever scale.
Yeah, that way they have to buy more stuff. That's the scam, I imagine.
Right. They work for that's the most fucked. All these people try to live off the grid, and this show is just like, I mean, it's canceled, so it's like who wins in the long run. But they're like feeding into this, like, I don't know, this complex. I've gone on some of these sites and looked at this stuff. It's creepy. I'm trying to price out some of the shit that Dad left it. It's just how much money did he put into this? It's no doubt that's why we're so in debt. We found out last week we're in super big debt.
That's why I was hoping we could, like, maybe watching the show, maybe I could learn, okay, this is worth something, maybe we can sell it.
Right, but the show is all about how can you go further into debt. It's so insane. And also, by the way, if you want to watch along at home, the name of this episode is called We Can't Let Evil Win. Yeah. Which immediately raises all sorts of questions about, like, who do you perceive as evil? Because, like, one of the first guys, he's like Johnny O. And he's like...
Johnny, no last name given.
Yeah, Johnny O. He's a Bachelor contestant, apparently. And he's got a family of former Marines and Army men. And his lifelong dream is that he wants America to be safe from all threats. But, like, not in that passive Gandhi way. He's gonna, like, fucking make sure
he's gonna murder these threats.
Yeah, he's gonna murder things that might be threats, they might be squirrels, they might be low-flying balloons, not on my lawn.
He was very worried about nuclear power plants. They're all worried about one specific thing in particular.
Right, but his house, this was, like, that was the thing, is that, like, we spent, like, 15 minutes with each. This is a 45-minute show. We spent 15 minutes with each family thereabouts, and each one of them has had these, like, oh, they're so wacky. Look how crazy they are. But each one of them has very legitimate problems that the show is in no way helping them with.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
He's there. It's like, this wacky guy is afraid that a nuclear disaster will take out his town. And it's like, haha, you live in rural America. That's crazy. They say on the show he lives downwind of 4 nuclear power plants.
Yeah.
4. Also,
he has a backup wife.
Yes. We can talk about that again all day. Because, like, so the first shot of him, oh my god, it's so amazing. He's in this ghillie suit, which, if you don't know, is like this leaf-covered, like, camouflage that you go into the forest. No one can see me.
But he's on a boat. He's in a ghillie suit on a boat.
Right. So. No, but right before the boat shot, because he has a wife, and his wife has a twin, and the twin of his wife also lives with him. And it's right. It's like he's all about stockpiling and redundancy. He even has a redundant wife.
He says redundancy a lot, and it's also implied that he's going to bang that lady.
I know, but how could you? It's like, oh, there's going to be so many sexy misunderstandings. We can't let those types in the bunker. That's just a weird three-way waiting to happen.
Also, if she has a degenerative disease, she's gonna have her twins gonna have the same one.
Wait, was that part of it?
No, I was just reading into it more. I'm just saying, like, he might need he might need a third wife, is what I'm saying.
Why was the first thing you thought of a degenerative disease?
Because they're twins. They always have diseases. That's just they're more prone for disease. Twins
I don't know if that's true. None of the twins I know are like syphilitic.
And instead of moving like a sane person, he gives his 4-year-old a gun to shoot, which is
yes, yeah. His 4-year-old is a gun-toting little girl, which is endearing in a way, but also deeply frightening in another. You don't want to be those neighbors. No. I thought it was a stranger. No, it was your neighbor in a hat, sweetie.
Well,
that was strange. But back to the ghillie suit thing. So he's wearing one of these things, and like you said, he was in a boat. He's in this camo thing, and he has both his wife and his sister wife wearing ghillie suits too. So they lay down in the boat so that they look like they're just, I don't know, packages or something.
Well, it's a boat full of bushes. That way, it's just it's just a boat full of bushes, nothing to see
but
here.
Wouldn't you think from a distance? Wouldn't that just look like supplies that you'd want to raid if you were a bad guy that this guy perceives as out there?
Yeah, but then I get a little closer. You'd shoot me in the face. I'd be dead. That's his idea.
Right. Surprise packages. It's like an Old West. Like, it's a Trojan horse is what it is. It's a Trojan horse. It's like, oh no, you kidnapped my wife. What you didn't expect was my second wife. Get him! And
that actually is a really good point of that's smart. Like, redundancy to play devil's advocate, like, that is smart. It's like, no one expects the second wife.
I was a little worried when they showed the 4, because they were in the Midwest. I saw they had like the explosion radius, the fallout radius of these things.
Oh yeah.
And I want to say Norton, Ohio, not even in the fallout radius, so we don't even get to test our bunker against those radiation waves.
Yeah.
The guy says at one point, panic is the #1 killer of everything.
That doesn't sound like a real thing. It just sounds like
I think that we should get some fact checking on that. I'm not sure.
I don't think you need to fact check that.
He said that the future will be factions of good versus factions of bad, and that's what it's. We can't let evil win. And back to that, but he doesn't represent or explain what good is and what bad is, and so that just means anything he likes is good, and anything he perceives as bad is bad. Which is not...
nuclear power plant's bad. Marrying your sister's wife, good.
Some sort of incestuous polygamy. It's an open relationship.
Nuclear bad. He just moved to Utah. I don't understand.
I'm tired of snuggling. We'll just, scoot over, switch places. We've been through this.
Yeah.
I mean, his ghillie suit, I wrote just a bunch of shit about because he looked like an echidna. He looked like he was a scarecrow.
You took notes on the show?
Yeah, I did. I wrote a ton of stuff down because I was just like, I paused it on this picture of this dude who looked like he walked off the set of a dinner theater production of Wizard of Oz dressed as the Scarecrow, picked up a rifle, and decided to go postal. That's exactly what he looked like.
That's what he looks like. But I guess, here's my question. So you watched Doomsday Prepper and took notes for hours, and then you didn't clean a thing in here?
Yeah, I did. Okay. Well, fuck that. I don't. Why are you so on me, the cleaning? When in my life,
you just said
being your brother, have I been like master cleaner?
It's fine. It's fine. Let's get back to the
clean.
episode. I'm being catty. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh, meow, mister.
I said I apologize. Let's move on.
Yeah. Whatever. I don't care.
Whatever.
Anyway, this guy's quote. I wrote this down as well. You're gonna shit down my throat for that.
We'll see. Why don't you say it first?
God.
Say the quote.
Let's go. Let's just fucking kill each other right now.
That's the quote.
Blood-soaked bunker. No, that's just me talking to you.
Jeez. Okay.
No. You don't even take me seriously as a threat, do you? This is why I need all this shit. This is why Dad stockpiled guns.
Yeah. Wait, there's guns here?
There's gotta be.
There has to be. There's definitely guns here.
People have. I haven't found that. I assume there's a gun room.
Yeah, I mean, that's something we could definitely sell to get out of debt if we find those guns.
No way. As soon as I get those guns, I'm just going to lay on top of them.
You're just going to lay on top of them?
I'm just going to roll in a thing of bullets like I'm Scrooge McDuck who fucks.
It sounds dangerous to do that.
Yeah,
so
maybe you can just, go play with your tiddlywinks back home. And, my perfect howdy-doody life with my wife and my children. Oh, I love them very much, and my career isn't in shambles. That's what you sound like.
Rude. But, yeah, I do love my wife. So, then there was a couple that was afraid of the tornadoes.
No, I'm not done yet.
Sorry. You're still reading me. Great, okay.
He says, I'm not obsessed with prepping. I'm obsessed with living. Prepping is just a part of that. Jesus and I wonder, Christ. Is that what Dad thought?
I think so the thing is, like, I was also watching Hoarders.
Okay.
I think
that might help too. That might have been a bigger help. You should have told me. I would have watched it.
This might be more of a Hoarders than a. I mean, there's an overlap. Definitely.
There's an overlap. I'd watch a Hoarders. I haven't seen it. It scares me.
It's very scary.
My grandma's friend was a hoarder.
Your dad was a hoarder.
Oh, right. Maybe it's contagious in that way.
Maybe. There's definitely, you're not, do you feel like you can throw any of this stuff away?
Do I feel like I would be rude to Dad's ghost or whatever?
But I'm saying, like, if I took, this box right here, this box is full of...
Well, put it down.
Okay. Okay, anyway, it's full of mousetraps. Do you need 100 mousetraps?
Don't jostle them, because if one goes off, then I have to buy a whole new box of them.
I'm saying we don't need. There's no mice down here. Why do we need 100 mousetraps?
Oh, there's no mice down here. Have you demoused the entire area? I don't know. You saying in this country field bunker there's not one field mouse?
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you can't let go of this box of mousetraps. Like, I'm going to take it away right now. I'm going to
let it go and
I'm going to put it in the trash right now. I'm going to put it in the trash right now. Okay, here I go.
I'm going to take this blowtorch.
Okay.
I'm going to light myself on fire.
Okay, sorry. I won't put it in the trash. Okay, I'll put it back. I'll put it back. Sorry. Anyway, just proving my point.
Let's get back to the show. Because you're just trying to poke my buttons.
Well, I'm just proving a point.
This is important. This is from the show. And this is something that could save your life. It said it was the rule of 3. This is something that preppers actually believe. They say you can survive 3 minutes without air, which is true because I did that.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
I was inside of a refrigerator in the junkyard for at least 17 minutes.
Must have been a hole.
Yeah, you can survive. So it's like 3 things. So for whatever, I think this is the dumbest shit I've ever heard. It's called the rule of 3, and there are 4 rules.
Well, redundancy, so. You okay?
Did you see that?
Yeah.
It was like a fly.
Yeah, it was.
It went right in my throat.
Well,
we should close the bunker door.
It was really. It's really. I'm sorry, it's just really hot in here. Listen. Okay.
We shouldn't run the AC while we have the door open.
Why not?
God.
It's nice. It's a nice cool breeze, and there's a nice cool breeze. It's double cool breeze. Redundancy.
You can survive 3 minutes without air. You can survive 3 hours without shelter. You can survive 3 days without water. 3 weeks without food. And I think that's bullshit because I can't spend 3 hours without going to BK.
No, there's no way. 3 weeks without food, you're delirious at that point.
Hyper redundancy, that's what they called it. And that's why Dad has all these fucking boxes, I guess. I don't know.
Maybe that's why he had so many wives.
This is one thing. He said everything has a backup plan. So, like, maybe all of this shit in this bunker is part of Dad's master plan. Maybe he's got some plan for us. I mean,
no,
it's possible.
I think what I learned a lot from the show is that people plan for things. I think mostly out of boredom and having too much money and needing a hobby.
So you're saying if they had more problems? No, because some of these people do have actual. But I don't. Maybe you're right because a lot of these problems are like self-imposed.
Well, the second lady was worried about F5, specifically worried about F5 tornadoes.
You're right.
And there's a
specifically, but because she was like the climate change prepper, and she was like, climate change will cause F5 tornadoes on my house. And it was like, there was a point where she stopped being making sense. It was like, and they like went over this climate change statistics. I'm like, oh my god, this is real and scaring me. And then they went over, and it's like they even said there's no indication that specifically F5 tornadoes.
Right. It's like, this lady's fucking stupid, but we're not gonna say that. We're gonna say it. We're gonna say it in a nicer way.
But like, yeah, exactly. But it's like they're not nice to these people either. They give them like Fs. For,
oh no, it's very passive aggressive.
It's really weird. It's like they're the people who make this show are like parasites, but they're parasites who like really hate the host body. They're just like, oh, this fucking dog I'm sucking the blood out of. Fucking whatever. Loser.
I'm gonna do it, but dog blood.
I'm gonna exploit you, but you make it so easy.
Also, the one thing I got is that lady got divorced at the end, if you remember.
Yeah.
She divorced her husband, and she was going to get the prepper stuff.
Score that she got on the show. They're like, they do an immediate cut as if to say, it's like, your score preparedness is 60%. And it's like, fade to her standing outside of the court. They got a divorce. They cut to her at the courthouse. And she's like, the court just ruled. Looks like I have full custody over all the prepper materials.
Good. Congratulations.
However, they are all at the compound my husband owns with men with guns. So... And then they cut to black commercial break, and I'm like, who the fuck made this show? Because any other reality producer would know what she just said is the show. We gotta go with her to get the stuff on the compound with the dudes with guns. Every Vice reporter in the world just wet their pants, and like they're just like, well, on to the next segment, 15 minutes apiece. It's like, you fucking showed us hunting deer. I feel like I should learn to hunt deer based on all these shows.
That's also like, you know, who that would have happened to, Johnny O, because he has a second wife.
He has a second wife.
So
that's what the backup is
redundancy.
For.
That's what you need.
All these people there's like this debate between whether they're food chickens or pet chickens, and like this clearly staged moment with the kid at one point earlier where he's like, Daddy, don't cry, we have more. It's like...
Yeah, that was weird. Also, it's like...
That was really weird.
Are chickens that hard to take care of? How did it die? What disease killed it? Having too many other chickens?
The best part of the show, I think, was when the first guy, he does this test on his family that's like the Pink Panther and Kato. He has them go about their business, his two wives, and he sneaks in like he's going to attack and rape them, and they're like freaking out his kids.
Yeah.
And he gives this little speech at the end of it. He's like, I don't do this to scare you. I do this to prepare you to be scared.
Yeah. This is what happens when people just, like, they have all this pent-up sexual energy and they go crazy instead of, you know, just like, being like, hey, I want to have sex with my two ladies that look the same. Just say it. You're just like, you're beating around the bush. Just admit it, and maybe
he created this whole artifice just so he could fuck his wife and her sister.
That's what it is. It's like, just be honest with you. It's, you're not talking to people. You're not talking enough. And then you become a prepper.
Because the first family, I was keeping track of the scores. The first family got 68 points. So it's like, fucking losers. And then they're like, and now let's talk about our next family. And the first shot of the family is the son is riding a pig. And I was just like, hell yeah.
And they also got 64 points. So they also did like pretty much the same. There's no way that family was more prepared than the first family. And their scores were very similar.
I almost forgot about the whole insulin subplot. But that was insane. It's so depressing. So the F5 tornado family has diabetes, and they can't afford their insulin.
They're stockpiling insulin.
Yeah, they're stockpiling insulin, but they also can't afford a refrigeration unit, so they're buying excess insulin and then putting it in the river. And I'm just imagining any diabetic at home who needs insulin and can't afford it just being like, fuck you! What are you doing?
Yeah, because insulin's like really expensive now, so it's like... that was actually, in hindsight, that's like very smart of them. But that wasn't, you know, they didn't know.
You're saying it's smart to stockpile insulin and keep it from people and then charge them?
I'm saying in this case it was.
Martin Shkreli? Oh my God.
I'm saying in this case, because of Martin Shkreli and people like him, it was smart to do it.
Ew. Do you remember when they're like, and they start talking, they're like going to build a bunker of their own, and they're like...
they use explosives to build a bunker, to build a hole.
Yeah. it was insane. I was just like, I'm so glad I wasn't there for that part. Imagine being their neighbors when they're setting off these like plastic explosives.
People like that don't have neighbors, man. And if they do, they're just as fucking wacky.
And they're like, we'll all live down there, and repopulate the earth.
My one wife.
And we'll ask our kids to bring their friends, implying that their
weird.
Friends would have sex with their kids. I was
That's
just like,
what it was.
And also, they had like a daughter. I don't know how old the daughter was. She looked like she was 16.
Is a drug addict for sure. I'm sorry, she is. She looks like a drug addict.
They had a lot. I mean, I know I'm a boob guy. We know that. We established that last time. They had a lot of boob shots of this like underage girl, and it felt very weird.
It was weird. That was weird.
It was really
a weird show. But also, that girl looked like high all the time. It's like, maybe you should stop stockpiling Percocet and fucking spend your money on insulin instead.
The other problem was that at the end she fought back against the criticism.
Oh yeah,
they're like, if anyone gets in past us, we're crazy. We'll fucking eat their faces.
We'll kill them. We'll kill them. Me and my family will kill them.
But that
also,
was my
we're gonna
real
get a
problem.
divorce.
They're exploiting these people who have actual problems, like the diabetes and
it's not exploitation if they agree to do it.
I guess if they paid them since they're on the show and they get the residuals, then
I don't think
it's
they
actually
get
not
paid. I'm pretty sure there's no way they get paid.
They should get paid. They're appearing on TV. They have to sign releases. I mean, come on.
Yeah, but it seems like these people are easy to trick and probably don't get paid.
Okay, so let's close things off with the final family on the show, which is
the most boring trash house.
I mean, so like, yeah, so these people like lived on the coast and they fear coastal change, so they moved to like a landlocked section of the desert in Texas, and they're just like, they created a house out of trash.
Yeah, trash house, which I guess doesn't. I don't know. I mean, it's like self-sufficiency, but
as a fan of Lego Masters, I was like, wow, if his smoker made out of old beer bottles really works, I'm gonna be impressed. It would be cool if you could do shit like that. But at the other end of it is like, why are you doing this specifically? And like, why did you move to an area of the desert that doesn't have like a river?
I think their plan is that the flooding will like get right to their house, so they'll be on the coast again.
Right, but even so, you still want fresh water, right?
They don't know.
It's like, I mean, and so the whole thing ends in this horrible thing where they get a rattlesnake hunter to come.
Oh yeah, that lady's tough.
And then that lady was actually like, I hunt and find rattlesnakes for a living. She seemed
I
don't know what her deal
blood.
was. Right, and she. And so our sort of like nebbish hero is learning how to cut the head off a rattlesnake and cook it as rattlesnake meat. And it was kind of disturbing to see a snake's head get literally cut off.
Yeah,
and then the snake is still snapping. I was like, this is more than I wanted to see. So
I've never felt bad for a snake before, but I felt bad for that snake.
I felt bad for everyone on the show. I felt bad for me for watching it.
Yeah, but I felt worse for the snake more than anybody, because he was like a practice snake. You know what I mean? He wasn't even like a survival snake. He was like, oh, this is just practice in case I need another one. I'm going to eat you.
The other thing I learned is that there's bug in, which means you're like holing in, like into a spider hole to stay safe, like we would in the bunker if something went up.
This place is full of bugs.
Right, so
we left the door open. Now we let all the bugs in. Right.
Yes, and bug out means grab your bag. That's your bug out bag, and then you run and like you go somewhere.
Did the fly that made you cough, was he bugging in?
Okay, fuck you. I don't need that kind of.
No, I'm just no like.
You know what? All right, that's it. That's all I had to say. That's the end of this Minisode.
He's a little fly prepper. You know, a little joke, little fly prepper.
You know, if you want to hear us do more of these and like review your favorite show or whatever, I'm going to release this. I heard tell that somebody else in Norton was listening to the first episode that I put out, and they said they liked it and they started sharing it with their friends. It was really weird. So I don't know if we're going to get some more feedback on that or not, but like I've just been sort of passing it around. So
that's insane.
I know, it's pretty crazy, but would you recommend Doomsday Preppers? I mean, I'm kind of dreading if we have to watch another one.
As a show, no, it's more, it's sad. It's more sad than fun.
reality TV is typically garbage, but this feels like badly produced garbage. Like
It's
even the
badly
opening
produced,
shot,
sad, passive aggressive. I don't know.
and like the scoring comes out of nowhere because it's not like they're like tallying it throughout the episode and then like give a final thing. They're just like, oh, also we were judging you silently.
Sorry,
and they take them into,
we were judging
yeah.
you. You failed.
All right, well, that's it for this first mini-sode. I'm Brian, this is Jack, and we don't have an ending catchphrase, but I mean, let's hunker in the bunker.
Bug
right?
out.
Something like that.
Bug
out,
in.
bug in.
Bug in, bug out.
Tune in, turn on, bug out.
Yeah, we got it. That's good.
2, 3, 4.
Hey, thank you for listening to Bunker Brothers. I'm Matt Shore, and with me was Mike Kolar as Jack, and I edited this episode, and thank you for listening so much. We'll be back soon with another guest and more kooky stuff happening in the bunker. If you like it, please give us those 5 stars and write a review on your favorite platform. And if you didn't, hey, get the heck out of our bunker, you big goof.